wonder what story she's going to tell us this time.
I bet it's going to be about dragons, or monsters, or monster fighting dragons.
Monsters fighting dragons? Are you stupid? Everyone knows that only knights fight dragons and the council fights monsters. Duh.
But I'm sure some of the counselors are knights too. I bet Commander Grimm has killed loads of dragons before.
No, but I do have a cousin who owns one.
Whoa!
That's so cool!
I told you dragons were real.
So, Mr. Grimm, what story is Renara going to tell us tonight? Is it a scary one? Will there be monsters?
There is a monster, but he hasn't been scary for a very long time.
You have nothing to fear, my dears. Tonight's monster is locked away, deep, deep in the dark, away from all the good things of the world. But now it's time to settle in, little ones, for tonight's story is an important one. Come now, my child, and listen well to a tale thought lost where dreamers dwell. Sit tight and sit still, be as quiet as can be, for the tale of the mouse and the tabby.
Mouse and the tabby? I thought that was going to be a monster.
But to a mouse, a cat is a monster.
Shh! Will you two be quiet? I'm trying to listen.
In all my years, I've never been told to shut up by a child.
For this tale would take place in the land of the judged, where cruel barbs would spring, and the earth would weep blood. And caught in a game, this little mouse ran, every footstep in line with the gods' plans. Through the days and through the nights, with no time to rest, the tabby inched closer, his mind possessed with Alvanus' secrets, the skills of the Fae. He was eager to devour his prey. And high up above him, the grey spattered skies, the gods placed their bets, and the stakes were high. But a moon could not bear it to watch the mouse's plight, and took pity despite the gods' delight. Now deep in a forest where cold winds would thrash, the young mouse was weakened and covered in ash. There was nowhere to turn to, but her heart was aflame, and her life was not ready to be claimed. Up wide marbled steps, her little paws that climbed the crimson prints, marking the stones for all time. Then the thorns cracked the stonework and took hold of the mouse, her tormentor patient, prepared to Within the tabby's eyes was pure blackness. Finally, he said, I have you now. The mouse glared back in defiance as she swore her final vow. I'd rather be free in the darkness, she said, than have my soul caged in the light. The brambles that trapped her were her salvation. And then, with one final act, the mouse's spirit took flight. Evun left the god's side, a tear he had shed as he rushed to the mouse, all covered in red. But all of a sudden, that one single tear transformed the red, and it became clear. As stream turned to river, the gods turned their gaze, for their interest in ColdRead was done. Evun and his Nashasem, together and bound as one.
I see nods. Jesus. For one of the few times I can say I'm at a loss for words on this one. This was really, I mean, you guys keep raising that goddamn bar. It's just.
We've been working on this for months.
You can tell.
Proper months.
Can.
It was like a month and a half of work, and then I just threw everything out the fucking restarted. And it became way, way, way better. So a necessary evil, I guess.
Sometimes that's the best thing to do, honestly, when it comes to some of these projects.
Okay, so since Zamoody can't find the correct words to say here, I'm going to take a quick moment to thank everyone that helped out with this song, including the Joe Schmo, Lacuna of Light, Josh Jargon. I can't see the rest of the things because Raven's head is in the way. AJ the VA, Captain Lady Luck, Draylen Dragon Fox, myself, I guess, Jet, Sazzle.
Oh wow.
Or Sarah. I think that's it. Correct me if I'm wrong or not.
No, I think that's everyone.
And, bravo to everybody involved, because holy mackerel, that chorus is just.
And Grim.
And Grim. Oh yeah, of course. Well, yeah, you gotta.
Sorry, Grim.
The Grim erasure.
No.
Well, now that I found myself, I will say welcome to Read the Podcast by voice actors, for voice actors. Welcome, everybody. So the intro you just heard was Renara's turn, but...
I wrote it because all of this... I'm going to say the lyrics for the chorus are translatable, but I'm not going to tell you how. That's some things you're going to have to find out yourself. And two, It's super heavy. We're dripping with lore. So this will appear actually in season 2, which is why it doesn't seemingly go along with the current timeline for season 4. This is something I had put in the works, and then we've spent so long doing it that it's kind of like, no, this is the time period. It's going to be released within the season 2 area of everything to help with that. And then other things might start to make sense when you listen to season 3 and then hopefully season 4. So there's a lot in there. There's a lot in the song. So yes.
All right, calm down there, Kevin Feige. I mean, you're really going. You're going really meta on us when it comes to all these like expanded universes.
I thought if he wants to dare MatPat to see if he can figure it out, but I'm not going to.
Wow, man! If we can get MatPat on this, I would be done.
If he wants to, I will not stop him. But
hashtag MatPat challenge.
Oh God, what have I started?
What have you done? We'll see.
You've started the hashtag MatPat challenge.
Absolutely, I love this. If you have any questions or if you have any topics you'd like us to talk about, please feel free to email us at ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. We also want to listen to your audio. So if you have if it could be an audition, it could be a demo, it could be anything. We'd love to hear it. We'll give constructive criticism. This is constructive feedback, I should say. And this is something that we've all done to each other. So it's not, we're not afraid. We can't dish it out. I mean, we can dish it out and we will take it too. So absolutely.
We want to see you succeed. We will always do our best to help you get to that goal.
Yes. Yeah. But as we do every week, I'd love to check in with everybody. So let's see how things are going on the other side of the world. So Renara, how has your week been?
It's been good. I mean, most of it was focused on getting the vocals and everything and other parts and pieces in for Eldurrino to do his absolutely wonderful mastery of music production. Seriously, I cannot sing his praises enough because it would not be as good, half as good if he wasn't doing that stuff. So I'm gonna forever just. You are a good music producer. Never doubt yourself. Right.
Ooh.
After the fact, though, I didn't. The thing is, like, he was still like. I felt bad as well. I was like, people should be compensated for their skills, and I'm like, we were midway through doing it, and yeah. So yeah, I'm rambling. I'm sorry. This early, great.
You called it.
I know I did. I went out for the first time since like. The whole pandemic, like out for a night out on the town with some friends, so I feel a bit rubbish.
You just went out with them. I see.
Yeah,
I see.
It's like that's why I told Eldurrino I wasn't able to be around Saturday because we were doing stuff. It's fine. So I feel a bit under the weather, but I am okay. And then I have work starting up with the wonderful little gremlins on Monday. So term starts.
Is that how you call your students now?
Yeah, that's me being nice.
Nice.
They know what they are.
No, most of my students are now going to be taller than me, and they're all sportsmen mostly. So it's going to be like tiny little me with like jock-sized individuals, and I'm there going, please don't crush me. Please don't crush me. So we'll see how that goes.
I'm sure they're still afraid of you, so I'm sure you'll be okay.
No,
you have the authority.
You have the authority. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, welcome, Renara. Thank you so much. Yeah. Hello, not Misty.
Hi, I'm not Misty. That's me.
For those of you that are listening, obviously Misty had an emergency, is not able to attend today due to a work thing. But I just almost called you Ravenmane over
Mark?
here. I almost called you Mark.
Doxed. Oh, damn
Damn it! It's a whole conversation.
I should have made a nameplate that said Marky Rose.
Marky Rose.
Oh my gosh. So, sir,
specific situation.
How has your week been?
Oh, it's been delightful. As I've mentioned a couple of times, as I have guest appeared on Cold Read the podcast. I teach at a music school, there's a thing we do at the music school to help kind of introduce, especially younger kids, to the piano, and that is that we assign colors to the C major scale. So like C is red, D is orange, E is yellow, green, blue, indigo, purple, back up to red. I had a child yesterday look me dead in my face and say, indigo is not a real color. And now, okay, fair, sure, right. The problem is that when we do this demonstration of color, I don't just go like, oh, yep, this one is red. Trust me, it's red. No, I have a box of 7 crayons. So I put a red crayon on red, orange crayon, orange, yellow crayon, yellow, etc., so on and so forth, all the way to purple. So I'm holding an indigo crayon in my hand, and the little girl goes, indigo is not a real color. And I go, oh, okay, sure, let's play this game. So I color with it. I go, is this blue? And she goes, no, it's too purple. I'm like, okay, cool. But is it purple? And she goes, no, it's too blue. I go, So maybe there is an intermediary color that exists between the two of them. And she goes, could be. I go, and maybe that color is called indigo. She goes, no, bluish purple.
Kids.
That's up there with English people aren't real.
Speaking of, I was going to say, speaking of things that don't exist, I recently heard that Brits don't exist either.
I don't exist, guys, apparently. I'm a figment of your imagination. I'm
Not
just
real.
putting this on. I'm actually American.
So there has to be context behind that statement now. I'm going to see if she is available. So
Oh, no.
I've talked about my daughter a couple of times, and my daughter has this idea that British people apparently just don't exist. Britain just does not exist. It's a figment. It's all in the storybooks. I'm going to see if she's available. So you guys continue. Mark,
So my week was okay.
Thank you, Dorino.
I finished up this song and then put the intro together, so that was good. And I'm happy the way that it turned out. I'm also very happy to be done with it because holy fuck, it was consuming a lot of my life. So believe me, it's fine because, and I was trying to tell you this earlier, I would have done all of this for absolutely free because I need practice. I want practice on music writing as well as audio producing. So thank you for giving me that opportunity. It was wonderful. I loved collaborating. Let's do it again sometime in like 2 years.
Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Also,
music writing. What is that sheet music on the piano back over yonder for the people who are listening to the sound of my voice? Eldurrino has a piano, and on the piano, there's
I don't
music.
play it. I don't fucking play piano. Guitar's my jam. That I can't handle piano. That's my girlfriend's. That is sheet music for The Little Mermaid, I believe.
Oh, how exciting!
Aww.
Hold on, I can check.
I love Little Mermaid.
I love how derailed this has already got.
Well, and it's okay because this episode is literally going to be just called Random Musings. So we're in good shape.
Nice.
This is perfectly fine.
Pretty sure it's Little Mermaid. She's been trying to get back into it because she used to play piano and then stopped for a while. So that intro, glad to be done with it. Very fun to do. Work sucked this week. I don't know what the hell is wrong with people. They're losing their fucking minds, I swear. But I won't get into that because I would call a lot of people out, and I don't want to risk losing my job.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
So, what else have I been doing? No, that's pretty much it.
Well, good.
I told myself I was going to start recording stuff, or at least writing down stuff for my commercial reel. Didn't happen. Was going to make a TikTok video. Didn't happen. I have a full getup in my booth that I have to wear for it that I bought specifically for the video. Hasn't happened yet. Yeah, that's it.
Well, I have a guest coming up in a bit, so I'm gonna vamp for just a little while.
Okay, so Ravenmane, can you tell me how you thought that song turned out, since you are the musical man here?
I'm gonna hide now.
All right, cool.
I'm gonna hide.
I love your feedback.
What was this? that was very nice. Nice top D, very nice head voice top D. Liked that a lot. We jumped up in there. Da 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 da. That was nice. Cool. Choral parts are nice. I like D minor just very generally. So that was nice.
D minor harmonic.
Oh, D minor harmonic. Ooh, throwing that C sharp. Sick. Very nice. Very, 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 very Western musical theory. Good.
Yeah, it was
very nice. Palestrina it's hard as hell.
Remember, this is a song that was sung to children about torture, and gambling, and suicide.
Hey, Grimm's fairy tales, the original Grimm's fairy tales are not what Disney portrays, okay? Right? Hansel and Gretel usually end up getting burnt in an oven and eaten. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of like East or European tales, like fairy tales or whatnot, that are extremely dark, like ridiculously dark.
Too Long Didn't Read. Song was nice. I like the song a lot. I liked the balance in the choral parts. I'm just kind of like, as my mic is muted, I just was like, turn my piano on. I'm just like, ooh.
I did see
I
you
saw
doing
you were
that.
like trying to figure it out. I was like, oh, that's nice.
Hello.
Cool. Well, you give me feedback later, like criticism as to how I can improve. I would absolutely appreciate it.
So as far as my week has been, I will be a little bit more. Let's be 100% frank. Obviously, for those of you that normally watch Twitch, you've not seen me in the last week, and that's been 100% intentional. Not a technical thing, not anything else going on. I think I've made again my decision. I keep swapping between the two. So I've put in a lot more work when it comes to the voice stuff. I've literally at one point I spent like a whole day with nothing for me to be able to audition to on voices.com. I did every single thing I could. I actually booked a job. So I'm going to be the greeter for Boss Accounting in Florida. So when you call these individuals, you're going to hear my voice, and you're going to hear it in both English and Espanol. So it'll be as we go. So very cool. I have something I want to talk about that, but I'll wait till after we're 100% done in here. I will also note that the West Coast is currently on fire.
Oh my God.
Come on in.
Oh yeah, it is.
It is hot, and it's hot to get into the booth. And the person that we've been talking about just walked into the room. So, dear, come on over. You're gonna be standing up, and that's fine. So,
Oh my God.
this is my daughter. This is Bread
Hello.
Latte.
Hi.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Here. Take this. Put this in. I'm handing off one of the earphones. Take a knee or something if you need to.
Yeah, I will do that.
There you go.
So I hear you've said that English people don't exist. Are not real.
Hey, they can hear you.
I'm put on the spot.
Because
So here's my outgoing theory on the world.
I'm intrigued. I want to know where this is coming from, right?
British people don't exist. Have you seen their food? Have you seen their food? Honestly, like if you think about British people, all you can think of is like really shitty beans on bread. And I mean honestly, like think about the comparison between like British food and Mexican food. Like, oh shit, my headphones fall out. I get so heated at this argument. Like if you look at a world map, like what we're just supposed to believe it? No, it's the government operatives. The UK doesn't exist. Australia is a prison. You know what?
So hear me out. So are you saying that the entire war of your independence was fake?
Yeah. No. I also don't believe that the United States had a war for independence. Actually, what happened is British people are made up by the Pentagon, and they just live in lower regions of Canada, and they don't know. They don't know it.
Oh my God, I'm crying.
Okay, so my next question is, how did you graduate high school?
You're amazing.
I graduated high school early with honors and a Gold State merit. I know what I'm talking about.
Are Are you absolutely positive that you graduated?
Oh, 100.
Well, that's actually a good point. If British people aren't real, how do you know you graduated? What?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So wait, where does your language come from then? Where does English come from then?
Oh, southern parts of Australia.
Oh, God.
Oh, the kangaroos made it, actually.
Okay, on that note, I'll pull you off now. I think we're done. That's enough right there. Thank you so much, Bread Latte.
We could have an entire episode.
She's yelling as she's walking out. This is all a joke. I'm not serious.
You heard it here, folks. This is not a joke. We are all serious.
I am very concerned for the future of our world.
I can't breathe. My face hurts.
Okay,
let's see. The British aren't real. British food
me.
is bad. I can get on board that one. Okay.
Okay. Roast
Australia's a
dinners
prison,
are
like
the
actively
British
right now.
people.
Prison.
We're not getting. This is a show about voice acting, guys. Let's not get into philosophical.
And you all asked for this to happen.
political stuff.
Okay.
I didn't ask for shit. You're just like, I'm gonna bring my daughter in. Let's have her get
Well,
on
I
and
brought
talk
it up
about
as a side comment for before the show, and you all decided to go into it. So I am not taking responsibility for what just happened here.
Eldurrino wants to move on from this topic of conversation. Eldurrino works for the Pentagon. Ooh.
Well, he does work in IT.
I love where this is going.
I just got fucking doxxed. Can we move on?
What are the
please?
third and fourth letters of Britain? IT. It's all. Oh
The third and fourth letters, like Rule 34. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go into that.
What has happened? Oh,
Okay.
Can I just say thank you for coming on the show today, Ravenmane?
no! No! It's chaos. Good.
That's a chaos. Oh my god.
Okay.
Right.
Now that that's out of the way, now that you guys brought this to the show, which I was trying to keep separate, let me go into my thing. So when it comes to that particular job that I did, first off, I got next to no instructions on how they wanted it done.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
So my conversation with them was essentially, hey, love the voice, we got you got it, and go ahead and start recording it. We're going to award it to you once XYZ person clears it. So I got the award for the job. I said, sure, no problem. What are you looking for? And he says, well, just read off the scripts and go for it. So, okay. I read it. I gave it to him. I gave him WAV files because I figured higher quality is better. Yeah, comes back to me after everything. This is after the first round. Hey, can you keep it under 30 seconds and can you give me MP3s?
Right.
Oh, okay. So revision 1. And when I sent it, I said, hey, when I was reading in Spanish, reading the addresses the way you had it written is weird. So I had to switch back to English. Let me know if this is a problem. So I give him the second round of revisions, and one of the Spanish scripts is so large that best I could do is 35 seconds, and I was talking like a fucking Mexican DJ. Buenas tardes, señores y señores, muy bienvenido. Gracias por estar aquí. Gracias por llamar a ese número de teléfono. Pase muy buen día. So it was like, and that was still at 35 seconds. I sent it back to him, and it's like, hey, I did what I could. Here it is. Oh, by the way, he wanted an on-hold music. This was an 11-minute file. And he wanted me to interject in between every so often. And he needed it under 5 megabytes.
What?
So I got it done.
Right.
But again, this is now round 2 of revisions, and he's giving me all this new info.
I feel like the person that you're talking to doesn't fully understand how a phone tree works and like what you can do with it, because there's a way simpler way of doing that. Like, anyways.
I'm just the VO guy.
No, believe me, I know. I'm just saying, as an IT guy who actually was asked to do a similar thing, and I said no because they didn't pay me for it. It's so much easier. So there's a super easy way of getting all that done. The timing thing, I can't speak on that, but like for the hold music, have 2 minutes of song, then tack on your interjection at the very end, repeat That's it. That's all you got.
Oh no. This was a whole music file. He wanted this whole song. I don't even know where it came from. So I send him that revision, and he's like, "Okay, cool. We like it all, except how you read the address in Spanish."
Oh.
And then he sends me. Finally, he wants me to go this way, but that's not how it was written on the script. So I mean, so here it is. Obviously, if you're doing an IVR job, now you know. You need to ask for the specifics. What kind of file do you want? Are you looking for a particular length? So lesson learned on that one. As a voice actor, do you think that we should creatively make tweaks to a script when we know it's not going to work out in that particular way? If I'm reading a address in English, I know a person who speaks Spanish is not going to understand it.
Right.
But the script specifically has it as 87th Southwest Avenue, Suite 114. These are all there. It would be you'd restructure and you do this whole completely different thing.
Yes. Right.
So should I have done it a particular way in the first place, or should I have just done it as the script says?
I would certainly go with the script first. I mean, I would absolutely mention, being, you know, a native speaker of Spanish, that, you know, this is the way how it is actually read.
Right.
You know, would you like me to record it as such? And honestly, if they don't want you to do that, that's on them. Like they're just gonna end up getting complaints anyway. So, and then maybe it'll turn into another job, or you can just re-record that and charge them extra bucks on the way.
That's absolutely. Go ahead.
I would have given them, like, because I've done this for other people, but on different projects, is I do it as it's written, and then I sort of do a small thing, and then I'll explain. There might be that I'm just going to do a couple of other slightly different things and give X reason, and then supply some other versions all sort of like in one go, so they can listen to them side by side and then make their decision. And then maybe if you've given one that they are happy with, then you don't have to. Then it's like that you don't have to go through that extra stuff. But rather than just giving them one and then just sort of giving a sort of note, I sort of go, right, this is how you wrote it. I'm also going to supply you with some extra stuff. You don't have to use this, but this is the reason why. Then they've got all of that there. Then they can make a decision based on that. And if they want you to retake one or the other, then that's saves time in the long run and helps with sort of getting across the information better, if that makes sense.
It makes sense to me. But at the same time, I kind of had already called it out in the first set. So I didn't think I didn't think anything of it, because especially after he pretty much accepted the second set except for those little pieces, that we were past that point.
Yeah. Okay.
And the other thing is, I only had 2 days to record this. So I can't exactly go back and forth because if you don't know voices.com, when you get awarded something, there is a project date.
Yes.
That you're supposed to be done by. Or at least have your stuff already submitted. I couldn't, because, he's in Florida. So this is, there's a time zone thing. By the time I get in the booth, he's probably already passed out. So, you kind of just go with what you can.
Yeah. Right. Okay, fair play.
Yeah. I mean, all in all, don't get me wrong. I think I'm still waiting for him to do the last approval, but I think I'm pretty much done when it comes to this particular one. It was an interesting thing. I couldn't edit in that particular one because I felt like it didn't sound right, because sometimes the levels just didn't. So I ended up just recording the whole thing and just sending it back over.
Sure.
At the end of the day, they're the ones who sort of have to go, like, well, this is they will say, and then you do the best you can.
Yeah.
And I think that's all anyone can ever ask of anyone, really.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the advice, team. I wanted to ask, Eldurrino, you opened a CCC for the intro, right?
I did.
How did that all go about? I've never seen that side of CCC.
It wasn't too terrible. It was a little strange in that. So when you upload when you put the project up, it will say, like, here's all the steps that you have to follow before you can put it up, like, putting the roles up and whether or not they're paid and descriptions, blah blah blah. And so the last step is to publish it. But then there's another one after that that says approved by moderator.
Oh.
I have seen, that there are projects on there that say, moderator approved to let you know, like, it's a legitimate thing.
It's
and
more,
therefore, therefore it kind of draws more interest to it. However, that never happened for me, and I don't know why. Whether or not it was that.
The way I've seen it work is, especially for my projects, is the reason they have that moderator approved thing is it's to do with the percent. When it used to have percentages, that used to be percentage chance of the project actually being completed, and it used to be that. There would be differences in basically based off of the moderators looking at the project, they would provide a percentage on what the humans would think that whether this was, something that was like a legitimate, like not a Minecraft role-playing thing, or something that is like a hobbyist thing. It was meant to distinguish hobbyist small projects against big ones. Mine, for my my audiobooks, for some reason, always got moderator approved, but I always paid for gold membership whenever I put an advert out. And what that does is make sure your ads get to the top of that list, and it's the first thing that they see. It's a tenner a month, but I put that investment in because I know, because I get like 200 to 300 people apply. That was my last one. I got about 200 people apply for it.
Yikes.
And that's what that was for. And the idea is it's not great, and because of the fact of how small. It was for a little bit of a song. Someone looked it through, and it might not have been as high on CCC's what they wanted thing, if that makes sense. I think what they want is bigger and larger projects to entice a lot more people in, more paying things, and it didn't match that. I am hypothetically guessing here because I was on the outside and seeing everything, because I stalked all of the people who applied every time because I was like, I want to hear what they sound like.
So I imagine that part of that might also be specifically for paid positions, so that because Casting Call Club doesn't have the same thing that voices.com has, where your pay once you agree to be a part of the role is essentially guaranteed as long as you submit your audio, because it comes directly from voices.com.
It goes into like a sub account that's held, and then so I think the moderator thing is morally like a stamp of approval saying, yes, this is legit. If you apply and you get the role, you're going to get paid. I did list it as a song as well, because it wasn't like there was no voice acting in it. I was literally just looking for people to sing, so that could also be a part of it as well. Didn't have a whole lot of responses to it. Again, it was listed as a song, so it kind of makes sense. People don't really go to CCC for songs that I'm aware of. But no, it was interesting. That's the first project I've ever opened on there. I think we had a total of 5 people. I want to say that's good.
Yeah, seven. It was 7. Like about 7 because we rejected 2, I think, and then we had.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just meant the people that we, the people that we like gave a role to is what I was saying. It was a total of 5. One of which flaked. Don't know what happened to them. They they gave me their Discord. I added them to the group. I said, "Here's all the stuff you need. Go at it." No response from them, and then the day before the deadline, I noticed that they had left the group.
I didn't notice.
Wow.
I was like, okay. Yeah,
okay.
Didn't say anything at all. So, I mean, it is what it is. I wasn't.
Still
I can't
worked
pay them.
fine with it.
I didn't have any money, but as compensation, I said, if you are a voice actor or if you just want to be, please let me know. I will get you in as a guest for the podcast.
Gotcha.
I figured that was, something at the very least, better than nothing. But it was I think it went really well, for a kind of like do this within a week and a half thing, I think maybe 2 weeks. I think it went over fairly well.
Good. Well, I'm glad that all ended up working out. And now you've got that experience, and hopefully a mod will notice that you have a completed project and pay more attention.
It's true. I mean, I have to start listing that. I have to start listing myself as a producer and director because now I have ample experience in both.
Yeah.
So
you do
like
indeed.
keeping Renara calm and collected.
Yes.
That's an arduous task, but I did
sorry.
it.
That does sound like it's a full-time task.
I'm just fucking with you.
I can hear Fire and Grim groaning downstairs at that mention because they do. They keep me in check. I can hear it. Oh, don't worry.
No, that's fine.
That's what we're here for.
Speaking of, if you're talking about Fire and Brimstone, I think my daughter's comments may have.
Yeah, no, don't worry.
Sorry.
Fire is the most quintessential posh British officer type sounding individual.
Gotcha.
Which is to say, he doesn't exist.
Exactly. Everything about them does not exist. Apparently,
unreal.
I'm so sorry, Fire. You don't exist. It's been proven on Cold Read. I'm sorry.
We're gonna have like a ton of people having existential crises.
Oh
today.
God!
Like,
do you realize an entire nation?
I've not seen our numbers from that side. I don't actually know how that's gonna go. Okay, so let's stick with the idea of helping people. So Eldurrino did a little digging in Reddit, and I appreciate you doing a little background work. Did you want to bring up the first one and you want to read that through so we can talk about it? Or did it catch you by surprise?
Talking about the
Upwork?
Upwork one, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. We won't look through the comments. I'll try and sum this up.
Yeah.
The best that I can. So this person, UVM87, says, I'm pretty new to VO and only have a few jobs under my belt. So almost any work for me is good experience. Yes, true. I responded to a VO offer on Upwork to do a 1.5 minute audio for a multinational media agency. The price was $45, so I applied. I told them $45, which would include 2 revisions. They responded that they wanted me, and they actually had 2.5 minute jobs for me to do, and they wanted to know what I would charge for 2 to 3 revisions. Also, they wanted to start immediately because they were short on time. The person then replied saying that it would be $70 per segment. And because of the rush, they had to end up shoving some things aside, and that would include the 3 revisions. The client responded and said that they only had $45 for each in their budget, and the first script would only be 2 minutes of recording. So they sent the first script. Second wasn't even ready yet.
Oh, wow.
The person then said that they relented and agreed to $45, but said that it would take a couple of extra days, like 1 to 2 extra days, because they have other work, including their day-to-day job, that they just could not, manage to move around. Then they responded also and said that they reviewed the script and that they will start recording once the terms have been agreed upon, and once the project has been changed from proposal status to offer status to show that somebody has, or rather the client has agreed to hire someone. The company then responded this morning saying that they were going to go with a different candidate. The poster replied and asked or said, I don't know why, or I don't understand why. I was just waiting for you to make it official, essentially. This user is questioning, did they do anything wrong here? They were tempted to send them the voices.com VO rate chart and say that they need to educate themselves on real life VO rates. However, they did not. They were also tempted to report this to Upwork because they changed the terms from the original posting. So basically, they want to make sure that they, did what they could, or want to make sure that they didn't do anything that potentially lost them the job, I assume.
I don't know.
So this all, to me, I mean, before we even start, sounds like an inexperienced person trying to offer a job, and it's just going sideways.
Low baller, as Paul Schmidt would say.
Because I don't know what the requirements are for because I know, I mean, obviously CCC has no requirements to put something up. I don't know what the requirements are for Upwork when you're putting out a job like this. I mean, changing the terms halfway through is definitely a red flag.
Right. And for those who may not know this, Upwork is very similar to other freelance sites that we have mentioned, mainly the 6-letter F word that we refuse to talk about. It's essentially it's a race to the bottom. It's 6 letters. It's 2 R's.
No, I'm saying what it is. But
okay.
Wow, dude, call me out.
Did you just correct my counting? It's 6.
No. I know there's 2 R's. Jesus.
No, but essentially it's a race to the bottom. You know, people want to hire talent for the lowest price humanly possible, and so people are going to continue to lower their rates until they get it, especially people who are not experienced. And so I don't know as far as like what their policy is on changing terms like that. I hope that they actually try to have the back of the talent, because I mean, to
the 6-letter site definitely does not. I know that.
Sorry,
the 6-letter website does not have the talents back. They have.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, to them, it's just a money game. I don't know. I have no experience with Upwork at all, so I can't really say it for certain. But,
people shouldn't just change. Like, once you put the ad out, you need to, if you're gonna change something, you need to at the very least explain why, or it feels shady to put one thing out and then you want to go with somebody and then try to get them to go for less. It damages the producer's integrity, and it just makes it not great, because like within this industry, it's all about human connection. It's all about being able to work with people and all these other things, and that already is red flag number 1. Number 2, don't, and I think it's a hard lesson that we all have to learn at some point, is that you will undercharge yourself when you start out. I know the people in here have told me to up my rates for certain things because they said I was undercharging on my website. Yes. And it's one of those things of it does happen. So you put what you think is right for you, and you don't move from what you think is right for you. If someone wants to pay you more, that's a good thing. But don't ever let somebody try. You know your own worth. You are the most knowledgeable on your own worth, and so just it's one of those things that I'm rambling. I'm just trying.
You
to
deserve
say
another one for that. You know that, right?
That's fine. Yeah, no, it's okay.
Rambles.
Okay, let me try it this way. Him switching out after the agreement without updating the status was slimy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He essentially pulled the job right out from under this individual just because they were still trying to negotiate a set rate.
Which is BS.
A complete BS. Now, as far as what this individual can do, 100%. I would definitely... you were offered the position, but the negotiation failed. But it failed in such a way that it wasn't even the talent's fault. 100%. Yeah, you need to talk to Upwork about this person.
Right.
Yeah. Or at the very least, just state this happened. You don't have to do anything if you don't, because like sometimes they build up I can imagine it would be they build up a set of stuff against maybe someone who puts work out there, and if there's been so many offenses, then they'll do something. So report every little thing. That's what I say.
Maybe. I don't know how accurate that is.
I think with this person, the thing that strikes me is they did absolutely do a thing wrong. They are a beginner. They're trying to get experience, and I can absolutely respect and understand that hustle. What they did very well is they agreed to do the job for $45. They were given specific things. This is what $45 will get you. And then this person gave them significantly more. It went from 1.5 minute audio to 2.5 minute jobs, which is a significant increase. They responded, if this is going to be the thing and it's going to be a rush job, the rate needs to increase. As soon as this person said, sorry, we only have this much money in the budget, at that point, this person absolutely, in spite of being a beginner, being very new, wanting to get experience, this person should have absolutely walked away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%. So about the only thing that they did wrong was relenting.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree. I mean, I think it's, you should certainly know like what the rates are in general. And depending on your experience, you can then choose to charge, whatever you see fit. However, yes, stick by it. Don't relent just because, you're looking for work, because if you're dedicated enough and you are talented enough, someone else is going to be more than happy to pay your rates. And even so, you can end up doing a free job that you think, it'll take an hour or two out of my day, no big deal. And then the person is just so impressed that they give you money anyways. Literally has happened to me twice this year. I have been paid for things that I agreed to do for free just because I wanted to and I thought it would be fun. It just happens. You never underestimate, the people that you work with. But yeah, absolutely stick by whatever you are agreeing to charge. I don't think you should necessarily just give in because you want the experience or you want, another check mark in your box.
100% of the time, just giving in because the experience will be good is a mistake. 100% of the time, especially if a person, especially when it's this exact sort of thing of you're signing on for A and then you are asked to do Q. That's
right. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even, you may be asking to do A through Q at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
prices should reflect the amount of time. It's why because I talked to Zamoody about directing and things like that. I will have a timer for the exact amount of time that will be charged for. It's what the money should reflect the amount of time and effort put in, and so if you X sort of thing, if that's the amount of stuff increases, so too should the amount of money reflected. It is a cause and effect? Directly proportional graph.
Okay. Yeah.
My brother's gonna kill me. It's when one thing goes up, so too does the other. So the graph does that.
I like Zamoody's look there when you're just happily saying, "My brother is going to kill me," and he's like, "What?"
A, I'm shocked that your brother's a listener, and B, really?
my brother
and C,
did
if her brother's British, she's not real, so she's safe.
There you go.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, I'm a figment of all your imagination. So yeah, I'm like a Vocaloid. I just exist on the internet.
Sorry, who are you?
Okay. I think we may. No, go ahead.
No, don't worry. I was just about to say I don't mean to somehow derail everything, but we're good.
No,
you're fine, right?
You're fine. This is a random musings episode, so it's quite
I'll
all right.
relax when I'm dead, guys. All right. I mean, that's how it works, right? You relax when you're dead. I'll breathe when I'm dead. It's all good.
That goes directly against what you say at the end of every episode, Renara. So you better take that back.
Do as I say, not as I do.
And there's the typical teacher.
What a cop out.
Okay, we got 5 minutes left. Let's do the second one real quick.
Sure.
This one, it comes from Cinematic Sun Music.
Ooh. I like the handle.
I need some advice. Is it more desirable in pro voiceover to have a somewhat saturated voice that sounds crisp and very slightly crunchy, or butter smooth to the point your voice sounds wide and balanced? The workflow I'm using is meant for radio commercials, but I often hear that the butter smooth voice and like that much more than the big broadcast radio jingle with crisp top end. The results I'm trying to achieve would be using parametric EQ. Okay, that's very technical, but is adding purposeful saturation necessary to level up your game as a professional.
No. No, I'm serious. That's not your job. You're unless you agree to do audio engineering, that is not your job. You are there to be the talent and supply the raw audio, and that is it.
Everyone's voice is unique and different, and yours will have a place that it will fit. It may not be the place that you initially had thought, but everyone is looking for a different type of voice, and just be authentically you, because it's the acting, not the sound, that's the most important. It's whether you're able to get across emotion and genuine feelings for certain things, be it for commercial or for character work. Either way, it needs to be natural sounding. It needs to be it needs to be
this is more of
acting.
This is more of a technical question, I feel.
Oh,
They're
okay.
looking more for advice on whether or not they should be EQing their audio prior to sending it.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
Because you can absolutely bring up the low mids and whatnot and get that nice buttery velvet smooth voice that you hear in jewelry advertisements and such. Or you could boost the high end and have it have a car salesman talking about, or wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube man, something like that. If you kind of bump up the high end on that, it does make it sing over everything else in the background. Whereas if you kind of do the opposite, it's meant to smooth it with your background music and such. Either way, the point is, unless you are doing your own audio engineering, or unless they ask you to, I don't think that EQing your voice is a necessity.
Okay.
I like that. In as far as the performance and everything else, I mean, even just looking at the auditions and voices.com, they don't want that professional radio guy sound anymore. They want a random person who's talking anyway.
Conversational.
So, they want conversational.
The word conversational.
Yeah, you see the word conversational, believable, often when it comes to those. So keep that in mind too. I don't know if you
do too much.
Yeah.
That easy. Don't do too much.
I like that.
I feel like our advice for this particular topic is do the least amount of work humanly possible.
I'm fine with this. Trust me.
Act your wage, man.
Well, and it's funny that you mentioned that, because I brought up a post in that I saw again from voices.com, which was a book narration that had 100,000 words, and they were only offering $750 to $999.
Yes, right.
Part of me died when I saw that.
I know,
because
ridiculous.
You're talking at least 24 to 30 hours worth of work for about $1,000, and that's if you go in the high end.
Right.
I saw another one that was posted that was not as bad. I think it was 1,000 to 1,250, and it was only half the words. But what I did is, in my proposal, I noted I will only provide the raw audio.
See?
And I put it for the high end, because that way I'm only going to be in there for 6 to 10 hours, because I'll clean out the crap stuff. But I'm not going to go and make your book. I'll give you the raw audio, and congrats, because that's me seeing my worth. I'm not going to devalue myself just to put my name behind an audio book. Honestly,
yes,
it's one of the reasons
100%.
why I don't go for ACX, because I know it's a lot of work for essentially a gamble.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, team, gosh, I hope this is the right button. Yay. Yeah. Otherwise, you might have heard the Blazing Saddles thing that we talked about earlier. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ravenmane, for coming in. I always appreciate having you here. And boy, you derailed us in the best way today. So thank you for that.
Thanks for having me and letting me be my absolute worst self.
You need to be on more often, truthfully.
Yeah. Honestly,
we talked about voice acting for 20 minutes, and the rest is just a bunch of ridiculousness.
I think we have been overdue just a complete and utter mess of an episode, though. So.
I just, like I said, this is a random episode. These are always good every now and then. So Thank you all for participating for it. I will say what I always say. If you have a topic, if you have something you want us to talk about, please email us, ColdReadthePodcast@gmail.com. At the beginning of the show, I didn't mention, we have a Discord. If you want to join the Discord, it's always in the description. Come on in, let me know that you're coming in from the show, and we'll give you the appropriate roles. We would love to hear your audio, so please consider sending us whatever you have, whatever you want us to listen to, and we will run it through all of our mind filters and give you back constructive feedback. Next intro is Eldurrino's. Oof. Bringing up the double work there, my friend.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not stressed at all. No, it'll be...
I owe you big time though, so you can just like pluck me out.
When I come to the UK, buy all my drinks and we'll be even.
Can do, will do, absolutely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Next week is a continuation of the series that I forgot to mention the title of. The series is called Six Chambers, we will see what happens with Emily and Sierra and Owen. Jesus, I forgot my own character already. That's great.
Damn it! If I didn't have the music in the background, I could edit that weird awkwardness out. But oh well. What can you do?
You can still do it. Just do like the like Windows XP noise or the. Yeah.
Careful. But thank you, everybody. Thanks for those that are tuning in. Thanks to those that came in to watch the show live. Definitely Fire and Brimstone and Sazzle. Thank you both for being here. If you guys ever want to join us, we do these recordings live Sunday at noon on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Zamoody. One of the weird times that I'll plug myself. I'll hand it off to Renara. Renara, go ahead and give us an outro.
I'm going to be different today because I want to be different. I'm going to ask every single one of you to give me one good piece, a little bit of tidbit, and then we'll end on me. So we're going to start with Ravenmane, and I'm pointing on Discord. So Ravenmane, you go first.
A little bit of tidbit. What? A little bit of tidbit of what?
Advice. Well, just ending
of
things.
advice. Oh,
yes.
Yo. Relax.
I like it. Yeah.
That's the best advice I've ever heard.
Relax. Jeez.
Relax.
Don't do it.
From like a vocal production standpoint, if you're carrying tension, if you're really tense, if you're really, really nervous about a thing, I promise you someone can hear that. So relax, chill, breathe. Drink water, I guess.
Oof, there goes Eldurrino's.
Oh, there goes Eldurrino's.
Now,
sniped.
That's okay.
Oh.
Who's going next? I'm doing this to you guys. I'm sorry.
No, that's perfectly fine. Yeah, don't be afraid to take your breaks. So, I mean, you don't owe anybody anything. So you do the things on your timeline. Just make sure you do it.
Yes.
Cool.
My advice is never, ever, ever give up. Seriously, I often reflect on my own life as time goes on, and where I was even just a year ago is so far in the past. Like it's amazing that I've even gotten to this point in my life where I am. I honestly never expected it. So if you want to do something, you can do it. You put your mind to it, put that shit out there, get it done. Quote Larry the Cable Guy.
And I will end it with just have fun. Just have fun. Go out there and walk the path and make sure that remember every single thing you do, be it talking to someone, making a new friend online, be it a small project that you have like a small little free thing, it might just snowball into something like a podcast. So just go out there, have fun, take those chances, take those risks, and who knows where you'll be in a year's time.
Love it. All right, everybody. Let's give some microwaves on the way out. Thank you. Bye. Bye, buddy. Bye.
Drink water.
There it is.
Drink water.